This is Romans 8:31. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who is against us? So I'm going to stop right here and say, do you really believe that God is for you? And if you don't, see, because a lot of times that's what the promises are. When people promise things and we tolerate it and it's really not sound biblical teaching, a lot of times the promise is trying to meet that need of, I don't really believe God is for me. I don't really believe he has good plans for me. But if I do this thing, if I get this secret ingredient, then that's going to twist his arm to where he has to be for me now. He's got to give me that promise. Now he's got to give me, God's already given you everything through Jesus. He's already given you everything through Jesus. And when we go around and we go through another route, we're listening to thieves and robbers. We've got to come through Jesus. It says, if God is for us, who is against us? Verse 32, he who did not spare his own son, but delivered him over for us all, how will he not also with him freely give us all things? It says it right there. God has good plans for you, but they're not your plans. They're his plans. And we've got to get to the place where we go, I submit to you, God, and your plans really are good plans. And if they feel like not good plans in the moment, if I'm obedient to you and it's not working out the way I thought it was going to work out, do I really trust you that your plans are good in the long run? That's the test of faith right there. Do I really trust you? Just like in the wilderness. Am I going to go back to Egypt and doubt the plans of God? Or am I going to believe that God is going to provide supernaturally right here in the wilderness? And he did. He gave them manna to eat. They got to see miracles. They got to see the glory of God leading them around. The truth is, God is for you. He's for you because of what Jesus did for you. You don't have to manipulate him. You don't have to get to him or get on his good side or get his favor any other way. People will say, well, you got to pray like this. The court, you got to enter the courts of heaven. You got to do this. You got to fast for at least, you got to do at least a 30-day fast. Like all these different things. It's like, no, you're trying to get to God through something else other than Jesus. I'm not saying the Holy Spirit will never ask you to fast. He will sometimes, but we should fast out of obedience to his leading, not out of trying to earn God's favor. But why? Because we've already got his favor. We've already got his favor through what Jesus did. And if we're trying to earn it, guess what? We're showing God we don't really believe it. We're saying, I don't really believe that what Jesus did was enough for me to be called a son or a daughter of God. And the word says, that's who you are. You've been called sons and daughters of God. That's what the Holy Spirit wants to remind us of every day. So, will he not also with him freely give us all things? Is that all things we want? No, it's all things that we need. It's all good things that God decides to give us. God puts good dreams and desires in our hearts as well. You can ask God for things you want, absolutely. But most of the time, he's going to give you those things in the way that he deems right and the way that he deems best. And if he gives you one of those things in a way that's not good, listen, my friend, even if you get the thing, it's not going to be worth it, because he's going to be showing you really didn't want what you thought you wanted.